Bruce Lee arrives at Universal Studios, carrying a gym bag for a meeting. On set, he demonstrates his speed by easily knocking back a larger opponent. Wiping sweat away, Bruce remains focused despite the heat of the production lot. Nearby, Frank Stone sits in his chair, watching the martial artist with skepticism. The massive former Marine carries scars that tell of a lifetime of combat. Standing beside John Wayne, Stone serves as the iconic actor's personal security detail. His crossed arms and rigid posture signal a deep reliance on physical dominance. As Bruce walks past, the tension between the two men becomes instantly palpable. Stone stops him, pointing out that the kung fu guy seems quite lost. Rising from his seat, the giant looms over Bruce to assert his authority. Bruce remains perfectly calm, even as Stone begins to question his actual skills. A mocking smile crosses Stone's face as he dismisses martial arts as showmanship. Unfazed, Bruce adjusts his bag and offers a knowing smile of his own. John Wayne watches the exchange silently, puffing on a cigar with keen interest. The legend steps forward to greet Bruce with a respectful and firm handshake. Suddenly, Stone loses his patience and aggressively grabs Bruce by the shirt collar. He maintains a crushing grip, trying to intimidate the much smaller man before him. Stone speaks loudly, boasting that movie fighting means nothing in a real brawl. Bruce looks him in the eye, showing no fear of the massive guard. The camera lingers on the tight grip, highlighting the physical disparity between them. Stone continues to brag about his size, believing his weight ensures an easy win. Quietly, Bruce studies his opponent's posture, looking for the inevitable flaws in his stance. Stone nods confidently, certain that his brute strength is more than enough to win. Bruce explains that raw power without intelligence is simply a waste of energy. He raises a hand, signaling for the giant to stop and listen carefully. Anger flushes Stone's face as he realizes his intimidation tactics are failing miserably. He issues a final threat, warning that someone is about to get hurt. Bruce accepts the challenge, even as Stone refuses to let go of his shirt. They agree to settle the dispute inside the controlled environment of Sound Stage 9. Crew members gather in the shadows, sensing a historic confrontation is about to unfold. Stone strips off his shirt, revealing a torso hardened by years of military service. In contrast, Bruce stands relaxed, his hands resting loosely at his sides. He tells the giant he is ready to begin whenever Stone feels comfortable. Stone advances with heavy steps, determined to crush the actor with one blow. He throws a powerful straight punch, putting all his weight behind the strike. Bruce simply shifts his weight, letting the massive fist whistle harmlessly past him. Stone tries a feint followed by a hard right, desperate to land a hit. Bruce places a light hand on Stone's wrist, using the giant's momentum against him. The redirection is so perfect that Stone crashes violently onto the concrete floor. Confused and gasping, the guard pushes himself up, unable to understand what happened. Bruce stands perfectly still, his breathing as steady as if he were meditating. Stone stands up again, winding up for another desperate and powerful right hook. The punch misses by a fraction, as Bruce moves with the fluidity of water. Bruce executes a short-range strike, his muscles compressing and exploding with sudden power. Stone's eyes widen in shock as the impact ripples through his entire frame. He collapses back onto the concrete, completely stunned by the efficiency of the hit. Bruce stands over him, watching silently as the giant struggles to find his breath. The surrounding crew remains in stunned silence, witnessing the total defeat of the Marine. In a hoarse voice, Stone can only ask how such a thing was possible. Bruce begins to break down the 3 fundamental mistakes Stone made during the fight. He points out that Stone committed his entire body to a single, predictable movement. By overextending, Stone ensured he would hit the floor the moment his balance shifted. Though he still towers over Bruce, the guard's spirit appears completely broken and humbled. Bruce acknowledges the man's size, but reiterates that size is not a substitute for skill. He explains that Stone's attempt to use raw force was his greatest tactical error. Stone rubs his chest, feeling a deep ache where the strike landed so precisely. Bruce explains the vital difference between being physically rigid and remaining mentally relaxed. He clarifies that he wasn't trying to punch through Stone's external physical armor. Instead, he transferred energy directly through the guard's structure to cause internal collapse. John Wayne approaches, defending his guard's right to have questioned the martial artist. The actor admits that even his own ego would need time to process this. Wayne notes that Bruce neutralized a man twice his size with almost no effort. Humbled, Stone asks if Bruce would be willing to teach him these incredible methods. He realizes he no longer wants to win. he simply wants to understand. Bruce retrieves his gym bag, his demeanor returning to that of a humble teacher. He explains that the true goal is to overwhelm the enemy's mind, not body. The strongest fighter is the one who understands the opponent better than themselves. A crew member finally exhales, breaking the heavy tension that filled the sound stage. Stone stands up on unsteady legs, his worldview having been completely shattered today. He wonders how a mere actor could possess such devastating and practical combat power. The crew members slowly drift back to their work, whispering about what they saw. Bruce has proven his philosophy against the most formidable physical specimen on the lot. Stone tells Wayne that he must find Bruce again to seek further guidance. The two men exit the dark stage, stepping out into the late afternoon sun. They stand outside together, sharing a quiet moment of reflection over smoke. Stone reflects on the painful but necessary lesson he was just forced to learn. John Wayne has no easy answers for the realization his guard is now facing. For the first time, Stone manages a small, self-deprecating laugh at his own arrogance. A dark purple bruise begins to form on his chest, a mark of Bruce's power. Later that evening, Stone visits Bruce in his modest and basic hotel room. Bruce asks how the injury feels, showing genuine concern for his former challenger. Stone touches the bruise reflexively, admitting that the pain is quite significant and deep. Bruce tells him that skepticism is healthy, as long as one remains open to truth. Stone admits his entire identity was built on the belief he was the toughest. Bruce speaks about the immense strength required to recognize when one is truly wrong. Stone asks how he can fulfill his duty if his strength is so easily bypassed. He realizes he needs to understand the nature of combat to truly do his job. Bruce explains that most people are blinded by the flashy surface of martial techniques. He defines true martial arts as a deep, intuitive understanding of the human body. Elements like distance, timing, and rhythm are the real keys to controlling any fight. He tells Stone that his current way of thinking about violence is fundamentally incorrect. Fighting should be something instinctive and effortless, like breathing or moving through water. Bruce reminds him that in life, the process of learning never truly comes to an end. He officially offers to take Stone as a student and begin his formal training. Stone thanks him deeply, grateful for the chance to learn from a true master. Bruce explains that anger is a conscious choice that clouds a fighter's better judgment. Every physical struggle begins in the mind long before the first punch is thrown. Outside, the world continues on, unaware of the transformation taking place in this room. Stone reflects on the mental shift required to become a student of Jeet Kune Do. 2 weeks later, the training begins in earnest as Bruce returns to Lowe's Angels. He teaches Stone the sticky hands drill to develop sensitivity and tactile awareness. Stone asks if the offer to train him was truly sincere after their confrontation. He jokes about nearly being killed by a man half his physical body weight. The giant finally realizes the absolute futility of relying solely on raw, unrefined force. In a later interview, John Wayne speaks highly of Bruce's impact on his life. He admits he was once a skeptic of Eastern martial arts before seeing the truth. The actor remembers that afternoon at Stage 9 as a turning point for his team. He believes that once you learn Bruce's lessons, you understand the essence of everything. The philosophy of Jeet Kune Do is introduced to a new generation of practitioners. The focus of their training shifts toward mental awareness and adaptation over physical strength. A small actor had successfully taught a massive Marine the most important lesson of all. Stone found a mentor who understood the hidden truths of the human physical structure. Now a teacher himself, Stone passes on Bruce's wisdom to every one of his students. His students become truly dangerous because they finally understand the power of the mind.